reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
In a league where rivalries ignite passions and redefine legacies, the clash between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark stands unparalleled. From collegiate courts to the grand arenas of the WNBA, their encounters have captivated audiences, setting new benchmarks for viewership and fan engagement. But as the Chicago Sky and Indiana Fever prepare for another face-off, questions arise. Is this rivalry fueling the league's meteoric rise? Or is it overshadowing the collective brilliance of women's basketball? Join us as we delve deep into the dynamics of this iconic rivalry, the strategic moves by franchises, and the evolving narrative that keeps fans on the edge of their seats.
First time in history, WNBA games will be played in the United Center. The Chicago Sky will host the Indiana Fever at the UC on Saturday, June 7th.
The seeds of this rivalry were sown long before their professional careers. In 2019, on the AAU circuit, Reese's team takeover bested Clark's All-Iowa attack in the Nike EYBL Championship. Their collegiate battles further intensified the competition, with Reese's LSU triumphing over Clark's Iowa in the 2023 NCAA Championship, a game that drew a record 9.9 million viewers. Reese's "you can't see me" gesture became emblematic of their fiery encounters. However, both athletes have consistently emphasized mutual respect, with Clark stating, "We're not best friends, but we're very respectful of one another."
We're watching women's basketball right now. It all started from the national championship game, and I've been dealing with this for 2 years now.
And this isn't a one-time
Drafted
thing.
first and seventh respectively in the 2024 WNBA draft, Clark and Reese brought their rivalry to the professional stage. Their initial WNBA encounters were nothing short of electrifying, with packed arenas and soaring ticket sales. The Chicago Sky's decision to move their games against the Fever to the United Center, doubling the seating capacity, underscores the immense draw of these matchups.
For Caitlin Clark's return to Carver Hawkeye Arena to be sold out. Tickets went on sale at 9 this morning.
Caitlin Clark doesn't just move the needle, she is the needle.
Media narratives have often painted Reese as the antagonist, a role she has acknowledged, stating she's willing to take the bad guy role to generate interest in women's basketball. However, both players have expressed that the rivalry is more media-fueled than personal. Clark, in particular, has emphasized the importance of focusing on the sport's growth rather than individual rivalries. The Reese-Clark dynamic has undeniably contributed to the WNBA's burgeoning popularity. The league's recent $2.2 billion media rights deal, spanning partnerships with Disney, Amazon Prime Video, and NBC Universal, signifies a monumental leap in women's sports. This financial influx promises enhanced player salaries, better facilities, and broader global outreach.
Caitlin came to see Caitlin Clark tonight.
Oh, gotta watch number 22.
I've been watching Caitlin for a couple of years, and since then I've dreamed about coming to a game.
As the season progresses, all eyes are on the forthcoming clashes between the Sky and the Fever. Beyond the on-court battles, these games symbolize the evolving landscape of women's basketball, a blend of athleticism, strategy, and storytelling. The Reese-Clark saga serves as a testament to the sport's potential to captivate and inspire.
There's so much support for Caitlin Clark.
Because she's the best.
In the grand tapestry of sports, rivalries like that of Reese and Clark add color, depth, and narrative richness. But beyond the headlines and highlights lies a shared commitment to excellence, a drive to elevate the game, and a passion that resonates with fans worldwide. As we anticipate their next encounter, let's celebrate the spirit of competition and the bright future of women's basketball.
$2.2 billion deal that Caitlin Clark has brought in. And I said Caitlin Clark. You heard it. That's right.
It was only a matter of time before the storm broke loose. Angel Reese, the self-proclaimed Bayou Barbie, isn't just showing up, she's showing out. And her latest performance? A direct message to Caitlin Clark. Now Chicago Sky and their head coach Nola Henry aren't just backing her, they're pushing her to dismantle the narrative around Clark's reign. But what really triggered this eruption?
She's a great person. I think she's a great person. I don't even have words to describe it.
It all began on college basketball's grandest stage. Angel Reese's LSU clashed with Caitlin Clark's Iowa in the 2023 NCAA championship. Reese's now infamous "you can't see me" gesture exploded online, hailed by some, slammed by others. The media storm was instant. Reese was called classless. Clark, a generational icon. But Angel didn't flinch. Caitlin Clark came into the WNBA like a comet. Her debut broke records. Tickets sold out. Jerseys disappeared off shelves. Even President Biden tweeted his support. Meanwhile, Angel Reese? She drew headlines too, but for very different reasons. She told reporters. Then came the moment that flipped the script. Against all odds, Angel Reese dropped a monster 30-point, 20-rebound performance against the Indiana Fever. And yes, Caitlin Clark was on that court. Post-game, Coach Henry made her stance crystal clear. But not everyone's clapping for Angel's comeback. Lisa Leslie, four-time Olympic gold medalist and WNBA pioneer, went on record calling Caitlin Clark, studio microphone, the most game-changing player we've seen in decades. She even compared her to Diana Taurasi. Reese's response? Not a word. But fans caught a TikTok with a caption. Left speech bubble. Funny how legends forget who paved their own way. Was it shade? Was it frustration? Either way, the divide is growing, and the legends are choosing sides. Angel and Caitlin are set to clash again in just 2 weeks at the United Center. Reese is also booked for an unfiltered sit-down with a Pivot podcast, expected to address everything: Lisa Leslie, the media, and Caitlin. Meanwhile, Clark just inked a Nike deal worth millions and is launching a national campaign. This isn't just a game anymore. This is a war for legacy. So, who's really dominating this league? The stats say one thing. The media says another. But the fans? They get to decide. Is Angel Reese finally destroying the Clark narrative, or is she still chasing shadows? Drop your take below. Team Angel or Team Caitlin? Whichever side you're on, one thing's for sure. And when we talk about Angel Reese, we're not just talking about a basketball player. We're talking about a fighter who challenged the system. A woman who didn't walk into a league that welcomed her with open arms, but one that questioned her every move, every emotion, every game. When Caitlin Clark entered the WNBA, the cameras followed her like a magnet. Brands lined up with million-dollar contracts, and every sports outlet sang her praises. But Angel Reese? She had a fight for every second of attention. Every rebound she grabbed was a clapback at the silence. Every bucket she made was a statement to the media that constantly tried to write her out of the story. When Coach Nola Henry said, "This isn't just Caitlin's moment. Angel deserves to be here too," it wasn't just a quote. It was a declaration. A disruption of the one-sided narrative being sold to the world. Angel plays like she has something to prove, because she does. Not just to the critics, but to every young girl who looks like her and never sees herself in the spotlight. Her 30-point, 20-rebound performances aren't just stats. They're messages. Loud, bold, unapologetic messages that say, "You will not ignore me." Every time Lisa Leslie or another legend speaks only of Caitlin's greatness while skipping over Angel's impact, Reese doesn't argue. Her silence screams. Her game speaks volumes. And her fans? They know. They see the imbalance. They tweet, they post, they protest, not just for a player, but for justice. Because what Angel Reese represents isn't just dominance on the court. It's representation, it's resistance, it's raw power in a league that still struggles to tell both sides of the story. So when she steps back onto the court across from Caitlin Clark, it won't just be a rematch. It'll be a reckoning. A head-on collision of two forces: talent, temperament, and truth. For the WNBA, this is no longer just a question of ratings. This is a test of fairness. And Angel Reese? She's ready to pass it with fire in her eyes and history in her hands. There's a storm brewing in the WNBA, and its name is Angel Reese. She didn't come into this league to play nice. She came to shake the very foundation of a system that picks and chooses its heroes based not just on talent, but on comfort. Because the truth is, Angel makes people uncomfortable. Her confidence? Too loud. Her celebrations? Too bold. Her attitude? Too unapologetic. But that's the exact reason why she's needed. In a league where the spotlight is constantly tilted toward players who fit a more media-friendly image, Angel Reese walks in with braids, lashes, and a fire that dares anyone to dim her shine. While Caitlin Clark is handed the crown before even playing a regular season game, Angel is still being told to wait her turn. Wait her turn for what? For a fair headline? For balanced coverage? For the respect she's already earned? This isn't jealousy, it's justice. And Reese isn't asking anymore. She's taking it. Every time she steps on the court, she's playing 2 games, one against her opponent, and one against a narrative that's been pre-written to keep her in the shadows. They don't just critique her performance, they dissect her emotions. When she shows passion, they call it anger. When she shows pride, they call it arrogance. But she's not changing for anyone, because Angel Reese isn't just fighting for a ring. She's fighting for space. Space for women who look like her, talk like her, celebrate like her, and refuse to apologize for it. So as the cameras zoom in on Caitlin Clark again, the world may think they've found their new golden girl. But behind that lens, Angel Reese is building something far more powerful, a movement, a revolution. And when that moment comes, when she dunks on the court and the crowd roars louder for her than anyone else, it won't just be a victory. It'll be payback for every headline that tried to erase her and a warning to the system. Angel Reese is not just here. She's coming for everything they said she couldn't have.